Hey, Kliq This fans, want to get closer to the show than ever? Join Kliq This TV. Kliq This TV offers early commercial-free access to wrestling's hottest podcast, plus live audience tapings of their show every friggin' week, and your chance to participate with Kevin and Sean in the monthly Nash and Friends watch-along show. Head to KliqThisTV.com now and get inside the show that's just too sweet.
Contains mature language and adult discussion.
I'm fanning myself with, this is the Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast, by the way. If you're looking for something else, you're lost. I'm fanning myself, Kevin, with my prescription for Wagovy. It's come to this. It's come to this. This is how I will be losing weight. By jabbing myself with a needle once a week in the stomach.
Well, I don't do that, but I jam myself with a needle once a week.
But you have self-control, and you're able to control your eating. It got so restrictive between the triglycerides and the carbohydrates, and then the meat for the diverticulitis and which I haven't had any flare-ups or anything, but still I try to moderate it. And then my doctor telling me I got to lose 35 pounds. I went to my doctor. I said, listen. I got to try this. It's the trend. I bucked the trend for long enough. Make this easy. Make me stop eating. Make me stop killing before I kill again. Make me stop eating 3,000 goddamn calories a day. So this is the magic.
Have you ever tried weighing your food?
Who has time for this? Well, I do. There is a food.
I don't know. I think fucking, taking something that they wouldn't give Bruce Bannon yet is not exactly.
I know this is all very new. I try to avoid it for this reason. And you know what? My first.
What are the side effects?
All right. Well, what we know of is
okay.
All right. So. Constipation.
I won't put any weight on.
Yeah, backing you up a little bit.
You got the John Wayne 40-pound colon.
Carrying around. Exactly. 11 cinder blocks in your stomach. So you could have a little bit of the constipation. Vomiting.
That'll trim you down.
He did mention something about tearing in the colon or stomach. They briefly mentioned it, which to me means very small percentage of the public would be dealing with this.
Jesus Christ.
But I'd always, my knee-jerk reaction was always, you can't go on all these bitches can't go on a diet. Everybody in Hollywood goes on fucking Wagovy or Ozempic. Leave it for the diabetics. They're using it all up. Leave it for the, you know what? I capitulated. I caved. I will let you know my progress on air live here. Maybe I'll give myself the first shot.
I'm reading here. Steve just put up. It's
oh boy,
nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, constipation, abdominal pain, headache, tiredness, upset stomach, dizziness, feeling bloated, belching, gas, stomach flu, heartburn, runny nose, sore throat. Jeez.
This is what I have now, or what I'm going to have
That's what you're going to have.
This? Oh, okay.
Oh, these side effects, what's to say about your pancreas? More serious side effects such as thyroid cancer, inflammation, pancreatitis, gallstones, hypoglycemia. They just wouldn't say death. They just weren't going to go that far.
I always wait for the ad on TV for like headache medicine in the bottom, which is warning, may cause death. But I'll be thin. Exactly. Look, I'll be dragging ass here. I'll be slumped over, complaining about my gallstones, but I'm going to look great. You know,
You need to fucking.
go ahead. I need self-control.
Yeah, I mean, you need to
I'm an
fucking,
addict.
You need to act it out, but you don't work out. You don't do anything.
I did. All right. I'm not going to bore anybody any further. This is the Kevin Nash podcast. Speaking of which, I think the folks at Columbia reached out to you after your Scarface impression last week, and I think you might be.
Oh, so this is your rebuttal for you fucking having no self-esteem.
This is the medical portion of the show.
This is your rebuttal to me having skin cancer and having my face jacked open. Do we have?
I didn't know when to bring it up. This seemed as good a time.
Yeah, when you were trying to fucking shield some heat off of your fucking undisciplined self.
Moving it away, exactly.
Yeah, it didn't work that way. My scar.
How are you feeling?
My scar will. I'm fine. I'm not bloated. I don't have a fucking headache. I got a fucking cut in my face, which will fucking heal. Just like the 33 other ones that I've had around my body to put me back together. So I'll be fine. But then again, I'm not a cunt.
I am what I eat. So let this be a disclaimer for everybody. Get your skin.
Do we have the picture of that I gave you for?
Yes.
So this. Tell me that doesn't look about as good. So I go in this place, and this is they tell me they go about the procedure. They say they're going to make a hole, and they're going to make sure they cut around and get all the cancer on the first take. So as I'm sitting there I'm laying on this table, in comes this crew that says Augusta Ground Crew, and they've got that fucking round thing where they change the holes on the greens. They stick that motherfucker on my face. I'm just like, so then he pulls it away, and I can smell they're cauterizing my fucking skin. I can smell my skin burning.
The sulfur.
Yeah, just like. So they pull back, and they show me this wound, and then he takes a pin and makes this fucking crucifix on my face.
Well, what's the mark? I thought he drew a compass. Now, I don't know why you need to know what's northeast with a hole in your face.
He was determining on the way the flexibility of my skin. Either they're going to go fucking east, west, or north, south.
With the stitches, you mean?
They pull that fucker so it's not so. See, it's a fucking straight gimmick now.
Right.
But so they cut they cut up, they cut north south on me. So so they fucking sew me up and everything. And then he says that he hands me a fucking. The thing, it starts off as everybody in the waiting room, and there's 20 fucking plus people in this waiting room. Everybody's got some patch on them somewhere that's already been in for round one, and they didn't get it all, so they're waiting to go back in to get more shit cut out. If I would have had more shit than that, I don't know if I'd have had a fucking face.
Well, but how long before they're confident that they got it all? Do you have to wait, or they could tell right there?
No, you have to. They cut you, remove, patch you with a fucking like a gauze pad and some fucking really adhesive tape, and go set you back in the room, and then they send it through. They have an on-site pathology, and then they say, no, you're clear. So for everybody out there that fucking is, I'm 64 years old, and all this damage is when we were kids. All this skin damage is when we're kids. And I religiously, and I know you do too, Sean, because we've had this conversation, go to a dermatologist every 3 months and have yourself checked out. And you have to. And it's like, I know exactly why I have these problems. I've had several things cut off of me. Was the 25 plus years of laying in tanning beds in fucking New Jersey and Pennsylvania and everywhere else and had no sun because we had Monday Night Raw and there wasn't an alternative. It wasn't like spray tans or anything that were effective. And when the tanning beds first came out, remember they were saying how they took the burning rays out of it. It was safer than the sun. That was, I think.
Oh, that was their pitch?
Yeah, I think it was the guy that did the ad was the doctor that was smoking the cigarette back in '55. So.
Camel, the safer alternative.
Yeah, so he sits there and the lady says, "Give me your right hand." And I said, "Why?" She was to give you the fucking mirror so you can look at it. I said, "Well, I'm left-handed." I said, "Can I have it in my left hand? You stupid bitch!" Like.
Does it matter where you hold them? I'm thinking right now that I could probably.
I'm thinking the left is probably a little bit more effective since it's on the left side of my fucking face, and I'm left-handed. So, now the doctor's in there, and he's asking me what I do for a living, and he says, "So, what do you do for a living?" I says, "I'm self-employed." He says, "Do you do anything physical?" I said, "No, I got 20-inch arms at 64 years old because I fucking don't do anything physical."
I was going to say, is that the one day you didn't have the tank top on down there?
No, I didn't. I had a T-shirt on.
Right.
And I said, "Why?" He says, "You can't work out for 2 weeks." I said, "Why is that?" He says, "You have a chance of splitting open."
Popping the stitches, right?
I said, "But it's stitched underneath this, then it's glued." So it's stitched underneath. I've got a layer of stitches now, and then I've got surgical glue on this. This thing will be nothing. This will be a fucking, in 6 months, this will be a little line because I for some reason, I heal. I don't keloid or anything. Of course, this will be the one time on my face.
It's all the colostrum.
Yeah, but
either that or the loads you've been taking on the face. But
yeah.
But Kevin, I understand what he's saying because if you're tensing or
I asked him this.
Yeah.
I said, "So you're telling me I can't have sexual intercourse?" He goes, "Why?" I said, "Let me tell you something right now, dude. If it comes down to fucking me training their fucking back and me fucking, I'm in way more of a fucking situation with my blood pressure and sweat fucking than I am working out. Working out, I mean, it's controlled. I'm, you start to feel that fucking that load fucking rising on the elevator. Fucking, you don't know what you're doing. That's when you fucking wake up and your fucking arms numb and it's like, I don't give a, it's like when you were a kid, you'd come home to fucking jerk one off and you'd fucking go in the bathroom, and bathroom was at the end of the fucking hallway. You're in a fucking 20 by 40 house. Bathroom's probably about 4 by 3. You're sitting in there and you're going to fucking try to rifle one off. And then you fucking all of a sudden you just kind of go like, ugh, and you kind of come to and you're like, oh God, how loud was I? Where did I spray? You've got to basically like CSI the bathroom before your mom comes back in.
Imagine this poor doctor comes into work. She's going to do a couple of procedures, give you the standard, typical, pre-rehearsed speech at the end, and there's Kevin with wait a minute, so sexual intercourse or doing my back, and unbelievable. Hey. Well, what did he tell you? Did he tell you that you cleared for takeoff at least?
Oh, it's one of those things where, because everybody else in the other room was Night of the Living Dead,
The villages sitting there.
Yeah, but the greatest thing is they're going on and on about how they would never vote for Biden, and it's a complete like Magna fucking
Oh, in the waiting room?
in the pep rally, like a pep rally, and I'm just keeping my mouth shut. I'm saying I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything, and because I was going to just stand up and go, listen, you fucking ignorant old fucks. You do know that the GOP, their fucking first two moves they're going to fucking put on when it's time to fucking get the balanced budget.
Say goodbye to your Medicare.
It will be, cut Medicaid, Medicare, and cut your Social Security. So all of you that are in here on your fucking Medicare or Medicaid, guess what? You'll be digging just your fucking skin cancer off of each other with a fucking hot spoon at the fucking villages, and you won't have any coin. So they're just so fucking. How can you be that stupid?
I don't know. I guess they figured they're grandfathered in, maybe, right?
No, nobody's grandfathered in.
Just got an alert came across on Twitter that this isn't a joke either. Kevin Spacey just was rushed to the hospital with a heart attack at a film festival. Not that he's been stressed this year at all.
Oh, fuck, he's had a couple of wins.
Yeah. So, hope he's okay. I wanted to bring up one other thing. I saw a news article about they were celebrating a Delta flight attendant who went above and beyond the call of duty to help
make sure what did they do? Make sure the flight was on time?
No, hold on. To help a scared child. And the article, it was in Inc. magazine, and it was like, what happened was a lesson for leaders to help children. You read the article, zoom in. I want Kevin to see why the child was upset. The flight was delayed so long, the young boy became upset and scared, wondering what was wrong with the plane.
Yeah, just like, so I go to fly. Let me give you my Delta update. Friday, get into fucking Atlanta, 4:20. Supposed to leave at 6:30. It's on Concourse E. There's a sushi place up there. So I say, perfect, man. I got 2 fucking hours. I'll go up there and have a little sushi. Well, as I go, as you go up the E-Concourse in Atlanta, they've got a board right there that you can look at. Because anytime you pass a board in Atlanta and don't look at it, you're a fucking idiot. Because they changed fucking gates, So I look at it, still E5. But lo and behold, it's now 7:15. By the time I sit down at the restaurant, and I'm literally a 3-minute walk to the gate. So I sit down. I see a woman that used to work there that left, that came back, and her son was actually making the sushi. So I just had some sashimi, a couple of rolls, and I had a glass of red wine. So, and some water. So, I mean, and now I'm just watching, and they were showing the Colorado State game for some reason. So I'm just watching that, and I'm just looking at my app. So I said, wow, fuck. I said, let me just walk down there. I walked down there. It's 6:53. The door is shut, and the plane is there. So I look at the dude. I said, what the fuck? I said, I show him my app. I said, he goes, no, man. He says, nothing I can do. So I got to go down.
And it's still scheduled for 7:15?
7:50.
Oh, 50.
No, 7:30 is when this thing is supposed to.
Right, and
it's
you're
been
there
changed.
at 6:53.
And on top of all of that, so I go to the help thing. There's a line. Fuck that. I walk right to the fucking lady with the red vest on. And I said, what? She goes, number one. I said, I got 3 million miles plus on this airline. I said, you guys just decide to shut a gate? I said, why even have an app? She says, you're supposed to be at your gate an hour before the flight leaves. I said, I pull up my next flight. I said, I've got 43 minutes to connect when I come back from Newark. I said, don't be changing the rule. I said, it ain't collect 400 pass go and Monopoly. You don't just change shit when you go on. I said, I'm not clairvoyant. I have no idea. I said, I'm going by what's on my app. Luger is on the plane. So now I immediately, anytime you have any kind of transaction with anybody human in that fucking airport, because they're all there on fucking some kind of work fucking release program. I mean, it's just like they're the most fucking miserable bunch of assholes on the planet. I just call the Delta Diamond Line. Guy puts me on the next flight. I got to wait 2 more hours. I got to go back up to the fucking bar, sit down. Now I say, fuck it, give me a bottle. So I'm going to just drink my fucking wine now, and I'll get into Newark at fucking 1 o'clock, and that's that. So do my signing the next day, and I go right to the airport. And I don't know the last time you flew out of Newark. Newark has a brand new terminal.
Oh, that Terminal A is beautiful.
With fucking bamboo recliners.
Oh,
And I mean, it's, when I landed, I'm like, where did this fucking come from?
They're going to do all 3 of them now, but the first one is done. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they take Delta, American, and United out of that, out of A. And what's Biden done? I don't know. A little bit of infrastructure somewhere. So I get on the plane to come back because I didn't see Lex at the signing. And he's sitting in the window seat, and I sit next to him for flight home. So he goes, "Hey, come." He said, "Where were you at?" I said, "I was up with me and the Dudleys were up top." I said, "Where were you guys at?" He said, "We're at the other end of the mall." So they had a signing with like the boys at 2 ends of the mall, which was.
They split everybody up?
Yeah. We'll get to that.
Oh, shit.
So Lex goes, "When'd you come in?" I said, "Well, I was supposed to be in on that 6:53 or whatever it was." I said, but he goes, "I was on that flight." I said, "Well, I went over there at 6:59 and they had the door shut and they had pushed it back to 7:30. And he goes, "Oh yeah." He goes, "We didn't even pull out of the gate till 7:41.
Why'd they shut the doors then? Was there a mechanical problem?
No, there was no problem whatsoever.
Really weird.
It's like, it's one thing if you've got weather coming, and they say, "Man, we need to get this fucker. Like, we're gonna have to cut some minutes off. If we wait 12 minutes, we're not gonna. This flight's not gonna." It's one thing if that's the situation. It's another thing if it's just fucking incompetence. So I go to the signing the next day, and lo and behold, we're going to some mall at 10 o'clock in the morning. And I'm thinking, who the fuck is going to be at a mall in New Jersey at 10 o'clock in the morning? And I round the corner, and I can see my banner, and I've got like a couple hundred people in my line. And I'm like, fuck. I said, I'm signing for 4 hours. I'm getting the fuck out of here. So I sit down, but these are if anybody that's ever been to a signing with me, like, the one thing that I cherish is my fans, especially like up northeast where like every other person has your first WWF magazine cover that you were on as Diesel. in a fucking bag with the pin that they want you to sign it in. You know, it's just like everybody and everybody's telling you a story. I said, I ran into you here. Da. Of course you're going to talk to them, man. It's like, fuck, it's you're going down memory lane. You got a great fan base up there. Some guy that looks like he got laid off from the Teamsters, about 55 years old, overweight, fucking walks up and tells my crowd to fucking, we need to get this going, gives me the, let's get this fucking thing going.
You got the circular finger motion there.
Yeah, from him. I said, who the fuck are you? He said, well, I'm here I'm doing security, and your line's backing into the end of there where they're taking the tickets. I said, so if fucking James Taylor was fucking on stage and you fucking logistically set up the fucking lighting system and he wasn't in the spotlight, what, you'd move him?
Very good.
I said, hey, do me a favor. I said, get the fuck away from here. So I look over, I see the promoter. I said, you know, Tommy, come over here. I said, who the fuck is this guy? I said, get him the fuck out of here. I said, if I see him again, I'm done. I already got my money. I said, I'm done. I'm walking. If I see this motherfucker, I said, go send him down the other end of the fucking
Put him down at Lex's,
send him down
2 miles away.
Send this fucking asshole down the end of the mall. So I'm done with him. Not even 10 minutes later, the guy that's taking tickets in my line is telling people, hey, we need to move this along. And I'm like, ugh. I said, did you not just hear me scream at this motherfucker? I said, he goes, well, I'm not getting paid. I said, then get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't need you here either, motherfucker. So I'm not picking up my pay. Bubba's next to me laughing his ass off. But then I looked over at him. He looked at me and goes, no, man, dude, you're absolutely right. This is, we're doing a fucking signing for the fans, not for 2 fucking guys that are decided that they don't want to spend their Saturday at the mall for free, you know? So, and I looked at the other guy and I said, listen, I promise you, at 105, there won't be a person in my line. 113, the last person I was signing his thing. And I'm just like, I've been doing this long enough. I know.
You know how to pace it, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, you can always fucking speed up. But if you speed up at the beginning and don't have, it's just like, because those people that are there at 10 got there at 9.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing, you imagine fucking sitting there for fucking an hour waiting to get something signed by somebody that you're a fan of, and they fucking come in and shoo you the fuck off.
Mm.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. And then and I'm the one that gets the skin cancer, not the fucking fat Teamster.
Right.
So,
Did we get some listeners? Were there some Northeast listeners?
Oh, fuck yeah. They all love the show.
All right.
See, completely different up Northeast.
Right.
Love the show. You got a fucking Mobile. I don't want to show yours there at, I don't know about that show yours there. Fuck you. So I had a very nice email exchange with our friends at Delta.
Uh-oh.
And LaToya, who I did remember your name, and exactly what time we interacted. And so I'm sure that you got a gold star for your fucking on-spot fucking performance.
Now, LaToya was the one who emailed you, or she was the one at the gate who told you that you need to...
No, she was the one that was the fucking red coat.
Okay. Right.
That fucking had the attitude that made up her new set of fucking Delta rules for the week.
Right.
So...
Mm-hmm. Well, it's always an interesting segment when I think people enjoy the travel portion to see...
And as much as I do.
How the weekend went. How about coming home? You're all right getting back home?
Coming home was
There was a little flooding up here, as you know, on Friday.
yes,
So
which I mean had nothing to do with
that had nothing to do with the delays at
nothing
Newark
to do.
Airport. Okay.
No, the promoter was great. The guy had driving me was great. You know, it was nice. It was fantastic to sit for 2.5 hours and just catch up with Lex. Because Lex and I spent a ton of time together in our lives, and it just was. I had not had a chance to.
Is Lex someone who I enjoyed my time with Lex, but I did not know him back, you know, when you were working with him? I knew like current Lex, but was there a change? Was he not as, I'll say, humble as he is now? Was he not as down to earth as he is now at one time? Because I always heard that narcissist gimmick was born out of reality.
I've never had a fucking problem with Lex. I've always thought he was a gem. I can't go up and down the road with a douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we laughed. He loved to train. He was one of those guys, man, that wasn't missing meals. It was like he was a perfect person for me to travel with.
Okay.
I mean, then again, it's not like I'm Mr. Congeniality either. So.
No, far from it. And it also helps that you're, 9 feet tall and like a monster. So I think people tend to behave around you, maybe not as they would around others. But maybe you saw something that would have indicated.
I mean, we all have the ability to be a prick, but it wasn't like you fucking, if you had Lex's body in fucking 1998, it wasn't like when you went to the gym and looked in the mirror, you didn't go, fuck, man, I'm jacked. Fuck.
I
was envious. The motherfucker, man, he could eat fucking ice cream all day long and have abs.
Let's
count them on.
Let's see what. That's coming up. Let's see what some of our fans said for last week's show. The Palette Pro says another great show, and I'm not even halfway through. Thanks again to Kevin, Sean, T, and everyone at Kliq This for their time and dedication. This is the only thing about Mondays that I look forward to. It's kind of a common cry, I hear. Mike M, 10481, says, you guys should do a special episode just telling Sheik stories while doing impressions of the Sheik. The back and forth between you two is just so funny.
That's hard to do for like back and forth for that long.
I guess there was a stretch last week we had like dueling Sheikies. We were yelling at each other as the Sheik.
When we were closing out, yeah.
So Mike M liked that. I love anything Sheik related. I even put him in as the one of the clip this week, the stiff one, because I can't get enough Sheiky.
Dom said I hear good things about Tommy Fierro. That's the guy that was a promoter. He's a good guy.
I've always heard his name like around the circuit. I can't remember if I ever dealt with him.
It's the first time I ever worked for him. He was great. And
he's done that shit for a long time.
He caught me like coming in off that fucking Delta experience, and with the fucking Johnny Teamster, and I mean he caught me. Somebody pulled the fire alarm at 4:00 in the morning at the hotel I was at.
Where'd he put you? At least was it a nice place?
Doubletree.
Okay.
Doubletree over in Newark.
Were you able to get a meal?
No.
Oh, because it was like 1, right? You got it very late.
I got to my room at about 2, and they had like a pizza sub.
Fuck it, do it right. Wagovy right here. The pizza, the sub, the whole shit.
Can you imagine? I sat there and I looked. I just said, I haven't eaten a pizza in so long. I said, if I can eat a pizza and drink a couple, if I drink it, I'm like, there's no way. I said, that fucking cheese will have me so fucking, and the gluten will have me so bloated tomorrow.
That's good, though. You eat it right before you go to sleep. It like weighs you down a little. Makes you sink into the mattress just
that's all I need, some more weight to fucking get on some shitty mattress.
Chaotic says LMAO. I did the tickets at school too. Oh, referencing the gambling slips that we were talking about, the football tickets. I did tickets at my school too. I had a job at a warehouse, and the bookie asked me to bring the tickets to school. Had a kid who put $10 on the 11 picks. That was the only one that you could collect with one loss. Remember that? You could get a 10 for 10 out of 11 on that one. Good times. Yeah, they were. Stephen Kunzer.
We have.
Hey, this is the national treasure, Nick Aldis, and I am recommending that you go to savewithconrad.com for all your home buying needs. Not only would I recommend Save with Conrad to friends and co-workers, I have many times already. If I know that they're house hunting, my first recommendation to them always is get in touch with Conrad. His team are the real deal, and they will be straight up with you and do everything they can to get you in the house.
NMLS number 65084, equal housing lender. Woo!
At savewithconrad.com.
Did you find somebody in there who lost his wife and both of his daughters? Did you see that?
Oh, I didn't. I didn't see that. It was this YouTube?
Yeah, it was on YouTube. I gave him a little bit of an answer because he just asked me.
I can find it right now.
You know, he said it was it had been several years, but he was just like, you know, basically treading water. And I told him, I said, dude, you know, it's been a year for me, and it's like Groundhog Day. Like every day that I wake up, it's like starting over. And I can't believe that any distance would, I mean, to lose my entire family. Like I still have my wife.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find him. Steve, if you get it first, throw it up. But so what was it like? Was it a car accident or something like that? What was the?
I think it was a car accident.
It's horrendous. Yes,
I just remember that it just sometimes when you try to, it's so hard to type feelings, especially on that fucking YouTube. If you start like actually typing, it fucking like you can't see what you're typing. You know what I mean? You ever seen that? Like you start,
it doesn't scroll down.
Yeah,
with
it doesn't
cursor,
scroll down. Yeah, it doesn't stay with it, and you can't. You're like, ah, fuck.
You used to get an Apple.
Yeah. So you guys can use our fucking power cords.
So that's all changing now. All right. Well, we'll see if we can get him to come up. God, I don't even know what advice you could give with that. But
I was just trying. I mean, I was just trying to tell him that to just, you know.
I think Kevin. I think I would. We're going here pretty early, but you know, there was that whole thing with you when you joked about the gun, right? Oh, I got a gun in my mouth, whatever. And then, you know, the police showed up and it made the news, right? That, you know, suicide watch kind of thing. I mean, I have two kids. If ever I lost one, I have the other, and I would need to be strong for the other one. If I lost my family, Kevin.
You know what though? You're still, and it's as stupid as this sounds. When that lady was looking at my face 3 or 4 weeks ago, and she said, "I don't remember that being there." I said, "You know what?" I said, "I don't either." I said, "I was wanting you to check that." She said, "Let me do a biopsy and we'll send it off." Well, it came back and it was cancerous, so they set a. And there's I think a basal cell is what it is.
Yes, yeah, that's what it's called. My mother had that on her nose and had to have a little reconstruction.
Yeah, and it's, you know, but it's, you know, it's not really a fast growing cancer, but it kind of, it's almost like a planter's wort where it kind of has seeds. Like
she couldn't train either. They told her when they had reconstructed the nose, and she couldn't get plowed from behind.
It's common. It's common. But when it goes down and you hear that you have, you know, you've got cancer and they're going to have to do this procedure, all of a sudden, all you want to do is live.
Mm.
And I think that's, I think that's, I don't know if that's just your primal, mammal, instinctual survival bullshit that's hardwired that you don't realize is there.
Yeah.
But I know that I've been, you know, if death was on the Yahtzee game and it was chance, I've used mine fucking way too many times.
Mm.
But I still know that no matter what, I still look forward, even just sitting down with Lex and having a conversation for 2.5 hours and reminiscing and laughing and realizing what a blessed life I've had. It's like, I don't want this to end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want this to end. So I was trying to make that for that guy, like, you know, you have to find something to live for. You know?
Yeah. I think, you know, the Mike Graham, first, of course, Eddie, and then Mike, and then the son, right? And
not the son, then Mike.
The son, then Mike, right?
And I never understood that with Mike, because Mike was a friend.
Yeah.
And I was on my way home on a flight to Daytona Beach, and I was going to meet him for drinks that day that he did that.
Oh.
I was on my way to his hotel. He was down for Bike Week, and we were going to have drinks. And I went over to the hotel, and there was all kind of commotion going on.
Holy shit!
And I found out it was Mike.
I think when suicide is in your family, it's much more on the radar as an option than for someone who's never, that it's totally foreign to. I had a suicide in my family when I was young, and it made a profound impression on me in a very dark way. And I guess I was 83. I was 10 or 11, and I would be lying if I didn't say at some seemingly impossible times in my life, it was on my mind. And I think it's because it had been introduced to me so young as something that I was forced to deal with, as was everybody in my family.
Yeah.
And so in the Graham situation, not coincidence, I think, that three of them, because it's something that's on the table. Because it's something they all had to deal with. I don't know.
Oh, I think Eddie was, I mean, especially when it's, I mean, to me, man, like a handgun is, you know, to use a handgun or a shotgun, or, man, that's just...
There's the how do I do it part of it, which
right.
is
Well, to me, it's just like
other thing.
You know, yeah, right. I mean,
you need a high success rate. You know, you don't want to fuck this up, because then now you're alive, which you didn't want to be, and probably walking around with a hole in your head or your jaw or wherever you do it. So, you know, you got to there's got to be a high degree of proficiency. If this is something you got to do, it's got to be a shoe-in. Like these bridge jumpers, if they land and they're alive, that's a very uncomfortable 7 or 8 minutes there. That with the broken back and drowning. So I think that's a bad way. The shooting, if you don't nail it.
you know, I've always wondered, like, is it worse to like get in a wreck and be on a back road, mangled in a fucking car, and slowly, you know, like that Signs when Gibson's wife is pinned against that tree and he goes down and sees her, and they moved the tree. They basically or moved the car. That's the only thing that's keeping her alive.
Because everything, yeah.
Yeah, and that's when he loses his faith, and now it's back to the science fiction of the alien with his son. But I always I wonder, like, what that, because all your body has all those drugs that lets go at the end that,
Mhm.
and it's.
Does it protect you in some way? Does it release stuff to keep you from fully experiencing what's happening?
And like, did I ever tell the story about the girl that I met at a Comic-Con that had lost her leg?
No, I don't think I know this.
I want to think her name's Savannah Welch. She's an actress. She was on the DC. She was like the mayor on the Justice League. I'm sure Steve will probably know who she is. But beautiful, beautiful lady, sweetheart, and we were signing in Indianapolis together, and she was getting off the bus, and I could tell she was kind of. I thought she had it almost looked like she had a knee brace on, but it was actually a prosthetic leg that she had on with a cowboy boot, and she had a long skirt on. And
you didn't do the Mad Dog Vachon, did you?
No, I helped her down.
Okay.
And I just realized, so I went in and I got a wheelchair, and just kind of helped her around the airport, to get through TSA and all that other bullshit, so she didn't have to, use a walker to get through. And she told me the story where she was out outside of Austin, like 40 miles at some country fair, and some guy, older man, was driving a pickup truck, had like a medical stroke or something, and just railed the accelerator, and she just looked up, and her son was there, and she pushed her son out of the way, but it basically pinned her leg. It basically just smashed her leg to the bumper, to the truck in front of it. And she went down. I mean, she was losing blood. And I guess there was somebody there that had some medical training and the service, and they were able to tourniquet her, and they got medevac, and they put her on the on the I don't know what that thing's called.
The flat back that.
Yeah, but it's the one that goes with the helicopter. It's almost like a cage type thing.
Okay, right.
And so the sides are open, and she's like in a kind of like a Black Hawk almost, and she's going, and she takes off, and she's up in the air, and all of a sudden the guys are working on her over the top of her like this, and all of a sudden it's just like those guys start to get further and further away. And to her left-hand side, there's this really bright light that hits her. And it's telling her, like, just let go. Like, she says, it's the warmest, most wonderful thing I've ever felt in my life. And she says, I was just going to let go. And she's like, what? She said, no. Like, I got to raise my kid. And the minute she made that decision, it was just like a flash, boom, and she was back. And about that time, she looked out this other side, out her right-hand side, and there was the brick of the hospital, and she was landing on top of the hospital, and she was on the heliport. Zoomed her in. Next thing she knows, she wakes up, and she comes to, and on one end of her bed's her father, on the other end of her bed's her son. And she's like, wow, like, because she had no idea. It's like she didn't know he made it. She didn't know. She just knew she got, she took it. And, her dad, like I said, you lost your leg, sweetheart. She said, she says, I didn't give a fuck.
Because she had her son.
Yeah, she says, I had my son, and life would go on. And that was one of the first times that, because I had always been, like when my father died, my mom basically just said, like that next Sunday came, because my dad always took us to church. And that next Sunday came, and my mom was like, fuck this. If there was a God, he would not take your father. We're not wasting time at church. And that was just kind of the way that, that I perceived that for a very long time.
Your siblings at the time, where are you in the chain? You're in the middle, or?
On the middle.
Right. So your brother's older.
Yes.
Did he, when your father passed, did he have that loss of faith and that, I know your mother shepherding that, but where was he with everything?
My brother?
Yeah.
We're both so young. I don't think that, I think that the worst thing that happened to my brother was 10 years old, and these assholes that worked with my father, and one of them was a neighbor, like basically like turned around as we're driving to our house to see our mom in all black, and they just looked at my brother and they said, like, you're the man of the house now. Like, they put that fucking load on my brother.
At 10.
At 10. And it fucked him up. He had a hard, it was just so fucking unfair.
Yeah. So young. I mean, your father was in his 30s, 36, right? That was
36.
Insane.
Yeah, but I mean, so like that happened, and it's just like, and then with T happening, it's just like, I've got like a degree of some kind of faith back, because there's just too many times, like they fucked up. They actually coming back from going to Newark, they had me in what they call 10C, and it's the first row of Delta Comfort, but the seats is out in the aisle, so I could have gotten both my legs straight. And as I'm thinking, like, and I haven't flown coach, but this is actually a seat. Now I know this, that 10C is a seat that's if I had to fly on a coach, I could probably do 2 hours in this 10C. And this young kid walks back and he goes, I don't think anybody's going to be in 1B. Why don't you just take that? And I was just like, oh, fuck, brother. Like I'm just saying to myself, like, thank you. And we go to take off, and he grabs the microphone. He says, hi, everybody. We're a Detroit-based crew. I'm Tristan.
No.
And I went, get the fuck out. I said, of course you are. I said, fuck, man. So he came over to me, he goes, and T's drink was vodka. He goes, can I get you anything? I said, yeah. I said, vodka tonic with a lime, Tristan. I said, were you named after Legends of the Fall? He goes, I was. I said, yep. I said, I pointed to my forearm. I said, this is my Tristan. He's not here anymore. I said, yeah. I said, same with ours.
It happens all the time, right? When we were at dinner, we joked about our crazy dinner, but at one point, your wife mentioned when a Carpaccio came to the table, unordered, we assumed because the kitchen was fearing what was
Right.
happening at our table. But she mentioned, she said, "Oh, this was T's favorite." So fitting that maybe that would come out when you and I were together for, I don't know if it was the first time since starting the podcast with him, but certainly all of our
And
families.
it was Savannah Welch.
Right,
Dominic.
yeah, from, what was the show? Titans?
Yeah.
Titans, yes. Oh, boy. You know what? Stephen Kunzer has reached out and says, wanted to say thank you, Kev, for the advice on migraine treatment with the salt and water mixture. It has helped me on multiple occasions since I listened to the episode.
I had my wife. He gave my wife the concoction before I left today. She was like, "Kev, I've had a headache all day." I'm like, "I'm telling you." I made the concoction. I made her drink it before I left.
Well, it's proven. Certainly the testimonials come in. Hey, on the wrestling front, I should note that next week, because of a schedule change due to the playoffs, Dynamite and AEW's Dynamite and NXT are going to be up against each other. And the news today was that, this would be tomorrow night, I should say, if you're listening on Monday. I can never get that right. You guys had to do this all the time when you did your promos. And tonight in Boston.
They were. Yeah, they had about that much of a convincibility to them.
So tomorrow, NXT is packing their roster. WWE getting ready to unveil John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Paul Heyman,
Braun,
and I think
Paul's going to be in Braun's
that's
corner.
right. He's going to be in his corner, right? But I think that AEW, they're on tonight as we're taping, so maybe more is going to happen. But Edge, I think, is the only thing I saw enticing anyone. Edge's first match will be tomorrow night if you're listening on Monday. Kevin, how the hell does AEW compete? I mean, WWE's, the depth of their roster, I mean, just by throwing a few more people on NXT is going to draw. What do you do? Because if you can't do it with your roster, what kind of gimmickry can you do to compete if you're AEW?
I just don't think.
Head to head.
I just think that you're back in that situation where when I came into the business, where WCW was WCW and WWF was WWF, and there's not going to be a Monday Night War,
But when there was, I'm glad you brought that up because that was in my notes to bring up. You guys had, when you had WWE and WCW, the roster was the first part of the war, right? Like people showing up on WCW. You never knew who you were going to see next week. What ex-WWE guy was going to be in the NWO. So at first, it's the roster that is the competition. You don't have that here because obviously the weight of the WWE roster, you can't compare if you're AEW. But then after the initial, in the ratings war days, in the WCW, WWE days, after the rosters are set, now it comes down to booking, writing.
Well, the number one thing that we never came close, even during the 83 weeks, man, we didn't touch fucking WWE's production. They're so good at packages, like like the Peacock thing they did on Cody. It's like if they want to get you over, they can make it feel like a 30 for 30 ESPN special. They can almost make it feel legit, like what this guy's doing is absolutely fucking legitimate.
But they didn't have to though, actually, because
No, but I'm just saying they have that
sure.
ability. You know, to me, it's just like AEW is the Staples Center, and it's a new arena, and it's got all the bells and whistles. But all of a sudden, man, like WWE just decides that we're gonna fucking do our shows in the Sphere. Like what? Yeah, we're just gonna do our shows in the Sphere now. That's just the way it is. I mean, it's always going to be that way. You're never gonna fucking, you know, you're never gonna.
Don't ever be a close competitor again.
Especially with 17 people in your staff.
Yeah, we went from 800. What do we have? 800 we started with, and then I think it was down to 105 by the end of the show with
some fucking limited liability holding company in fucking Britain that was doing yacht trading.
But so, my point being, can your booking, can your writing, can your matches, can that be enough?
I watched the Wembley show back, and like that was, I mean, that's not, you know, it's like that's nothing to shake. That was a very. I remember the first time they ran the they played the U.S. Open tennis wise. You know, it's just like they you've got to pick, like, you know, like if I'm AEW, like I'm running Red Rock, I'm probably going outside of the, and they've got, you know, they've got the Premium League soccer stadium, football, if we may. I think that they could. I think what the cons have is they have the crossover of the NFL, of the Premium League. I think that they've got to look at ways that they can take the product and maybe make it more global.
Using some of the other assets.
Yes.
Don't cut it off from the other things that they own.
No, because if it's just, I mean, you'll notice that the WWE has gotten away a lot from the picture-in-a-picture.
Oh, in the presentation.
Yeah, they've gotten away from a lot of that, and I think that people have realized, especially since I pointed out every time I get a chance, that nothing happens during the picture-in-a-picture, which means if you're DVR and it fucking just go right to the front.
Go right through the commercial.
Yeah, go to the full screen. It's like FX. You just look for the mature. You know, you look for the M. Just, there's the M. Okay, I can watch that.
Be a good show.
I'm through the commercials. So,
well,
I don't know. I mean, it's just... I pray that Edge doesn't get hurt.
Well, of course, yeah.
You know, I pray that, you know, I mean, I just, you know, it's, but he's a great addition. And, you know, one of the things that, like, their style is so different than the WWE style. Like, it's kind of more of an indie-rific kind of a, but.
So should they be content to stay there then? Why
no,
are we going to try to be the major leagues if we're?
I think that by bringing in somebody like Edge, I mean, and he has always worked like a very main event style, like a WWE. He's been on top of the WWE a long time. I think you put him with some of them younger guys, and stop the fucking, you know, stop some of the bad habits that the other guys have, and use a little bit more psychology and a little bit better storytelling.
We'll see. It'd be interesting to see. What
I really liked like some of the things they did when they had the wins and losses records. Like I thought that was, but I always thought that even though they have wins and losses, do you remember like back in the day when, did you ever read Ring magazine?
It was boxing magazine.
Yeah. And they would always have, you know, like heavyweights. And they'd have, you know, the WBC and they'd have the champions, and then they'd have the top 10 qualifiers.
The ranks underneath.
Right. So, like,
PWI used to do that, too.
Yeah. But they were always used, like, they would be most hated and, you know, most.
Well, they would rank by territory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so,
I mean,
okay, but to do that
to me, to do that instead of just having Kingston versus Jericho, it's the 4 versus 5 or the 4 versus 9, and it's like it's to move. Like if you make everything about moving up, make it significant, where it's just not a water cooler fucking or a coffee pot match where it's just these two guys bump into each other and it's just booked for tonight.
So, so the angle is the athletic competition or placement within, treating it a little more like sport and a little less like drama, like a soap opera.
Because you've got so many fucking. It's not like they don't have talent at AEW. They've just got so many fucking people that get so little time that when they do come out, you have no idea who the fuck they are. Right. You know?
Well, it'll be interesting to see. Interesting to see how they do it. I like having the second or 3, however many federations can stay in the game, because it makes it interesting again.
I mean, I think Alex Shelley being the champion for Impact is huge.
Yeah, we can't leave Impact out of this also.
No, I think he brings Sabins. I mean, they have some good. I've watched some really good televised matches off that program. So it's just like, you know, but their problem is always going to be that they need to. I thought there was kind of something there with the NWA, that kind of going back to like almost like that old school NWA where it's that Lance Russell kind of feel, and you know, I thought there was something there. I don't think it. I thought it worked pretty well when they had. I mean, I thought it was different. It gave it, but at the same time, you know, they just neither Impact nor NWA can hold enough high end talent.
Of course,
you know,
right.
That's always going to be a
They're
problem.
going to move up. You know, it's like trying to run that.
It's like, you know, I was.
team.
Well, you know, you look at the XFL and the USFL. They're merging. You know, it's just like, you know, they're going to merge because nobody. Like, how exciting is it to have an eight team football league?
You know how exciting it is. It's as exciting as getting a good clean shave without the mess of pulling out your blade and your shaving cream, Kevin. We're brought to you today by Manscaped, who is taking a step up from the Halloween to bring your face the cleanest shave it's ever seen. So this season, no need to toil and trouble. Manscaped, all new Handyman is the best way to get rid of that stubble, featuring a compact design and next-gen skin-safe technology with the Handyman. Okay? The Handyman was designed to give you that smooth finish without the mess of the traditional shave. Get the sweetest treat this Halloween by going to manscaped.com using code KLIQ. Kliq for 20% off plus free shipping. Are you tired of a bad razor making your neck look like a scary movie? With the Handyman's skin-safe technology, you will reduce nicks, cuts, finally feel confident when going in for that close shave. It's for wet or dry use. Feel free to bring this anywhere and everywhere. The compact design and airplane friendliness make this the perfect travel tool for being on the go and being able to shave up to 3 days growth without the mess of the wet shave. It's priceless. And for my wolf man with a little more scruff, maybe someone I host the show with, Manscaped's Beard Hedger Pro Kit, which Kevin has. It has everything you need to tame the mane. The cordless trimmer has that rotary wheel, gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard. Go to manscaped.com. Get your 20% off and free shipping with the code KLIQ at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping. How can you beat that? Manscaped.com. Use the code KLIQ. For a look as sweet as candy, get yourself the Handyman from Manscaped. Thank you to our friends at Manscaped.
I had to kind of go. I had to get the nose today, but I had to kind of get in here and try to. They butchered me up pretty good when they cut me, so I had to
the procedure. Yeah.
so I had to kind of try to even it, so it kind of looked from this way. It kind of looked even, so I had to. But I didn't mess with my neck or anything today. I said, fuck it.
I saw in the news also that Brian Pillman Jr.
He signed with that NXT WWE, yes.
Yeah. So what do you know about Pillman Jr.?
I mean, I was friends with his father.
Mm-hmm.
We ran up and down the road together. He's a good talent. He was on the guitar show with us. I think he wrestled Enzo. Yeah, him and Enzo had a hell of a match.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why Enzo can't get hired someplace. Enzo Amore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really surprised that he can't get hired someplace. I know he, at the beginning he got some shit, but
make some calls. You Kevin Nash. Christ's sake.
Oh, this is what I love. So I'm going through the the different wrestling things, and how we talked about Paul's divorce thing. But they put it in their own jargon where it's like Paul's like when I said it, I meant it as Paul is pissed off that they would fucking how dare they think I'm fucking my life's falling apart. I'm at my fucking girl's. Not like, oh fuck, I've been dragged to this my daughter's
Oh, you think that was
that's how I took it when I read it back. It was almost like they were because you can't just let the man have his fucking life. So you got to get you got to poke him one more fucking time. Like, oh, well, yeah, he wasn't forced to go anywhere.
No, I think that's just bad reporting. It didn't sound that way at all.
It's very bad reporting. It's like, man, I know how much he loves his girls. It's just like, that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, look at these sources. What is that? Pink Villa? What the hell is that?
Look at the fucking.
Am I supposed to know this?
Look at the pictures they used and made. You couldn't find anything.
That was last week
from '96.
Yeah. So it was carried. I didn't even realize it was carried in the.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's going to happen no matter what, right? Everything gets twisted. When you're in the public eye, you're subject to interpretation all over the place. I have one episode of Wrestlers left, by the way. I wanted to mention. I couldn't plow through it.
The one from Netflix?
Netflix, yeah.
What'd you think of it?
I couldn't plow through. You know what? Initially I was like, okay, they're not going to show me anything. But I stayed with it, and I kind of got into the kids that that were working there, which obviously was the point of the
Right.
whole thing. The owners coming in, and that's a little played out and tired. But the end of this last episode, Kevin, when Al agrees to go in there, and it's perfectly laid out. Obviously, they knew right where every episode was going to go. Al finally agrees he's going to get in the ring. The fucking training segment that they played at the end of this episode with Al Snow, I thought it was like a mashup of Rocky, Clash of the Titans, and maybe Grizzly Adams or something with his growth. The shot, the blue lighting, he's oiled like a gay porn star.
He's got the big clubs.
Oh, and the production. There was no way that workout was happening for anything other than these shots. And rising from the fucking ashes is Al Zeus Snow, like the Phoenix. I couldn't believe. I popped up like, this is the music gets all serious and triumphant, like, and knowing Al, I'm like, give me a fucking.
But the thing is, man, I mean, that's what you get. And what is that? That's just production.
That's just production.
That's
all
BBC production, man.
That's production. So it was very funny. So I'm about to get into the last episode. The mom and daughter thing I thought was well played, drawing on some of their strife from their real life, bringing it into the ring, maybe, some extra punch behind some of the shots going on in the ring, maybe leading you to think that. And her thing with the boyfriend, she's the one who's very like aggressive, type A.
How about the shots they make of when he's just sitting in his fucking shit box?
That's what I'm saying. It's like they've made him out to, he might be the nicest, hardworking guy. They made him out to be like the freeloading, lazy, and she's got all this determination and energy, and she's gonna make it.
He's like rich, white boy Rick,
the coke dealer. Yeah, and there's one shot in particular, which is like the microcosm of their relationship. She's wrapping up all this merch, right? She's putting stickers with the sizes, marking them all up, putting the different shirts that she's selling in the thing. And he's sitting there going, I don't think I'm going to sell any merch. I hate standing there talking to people. And she's like getting all her shit together. And I was like, okay, so that's their story there. Yeah, so, I mean, I got hooked a little bit on the talent aspect of it.
I enjoyed it.
So we'll see what happens in the big finale when Gladiator Al takes to the ring. I wonder if they'll shoot the match from in the ring with a lot of production in slow motion like Rocky IV. Who knows? In the ultimate irony today, Kevin. All right, it's time to talk about game time once again, Kev. It's football season, it's hockey season, it's basketball season, it's concerts all over the place.
Still got baseball playoffs.
Still got baseball. We're in the playoffs.
Is it. All four.
This is time to download the Game Time app.
You can't get your Taylor Swift tickets, you can maybe catch your Chiefs game.
Yeah, suddenly she's taking over the NFL headlines. But,
God
okay.
bless her.
Put that Game Time app on your phone. Redeem code KLIQ, okay? Code Kliq, and you're going to get $20 off your first purchase. What is Game Time? What, are you living under a rock? What's Game Time? Game Time, if you're using it on your computer, go to gametime.co, C-O, or just put it on your phone like I did, okay? It is the place to go to buy tickets to your favorite events in your area. Fast, easy. It's the way to do it. Sports, music, comedy, theater. Killer deals on last-minute tickets, and they have their best price guarantee. So you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting excited to attend these events. They specialize in that last-minute ticket, and their mapping system, their graphics are tremendous. Now, here is U2 at the Sphere. We're looking at this live right here. And you can see all of the areas. You can look at the map view, and all those little icons are ticket prices, right? And you just click on the ticket price in the section that you want, right? Just like Steve's doing right there. Let's say we want to be in the 200s in that second area there.
It's crazy that the farthest away are the highest dollar seats.
Well, that's fear. I don't
because you get
layout of that.
get the whole sphere.
Exactly, you get the whole experience. It's kind of the
Yeah.
opposite mentality of a regular
It's
venue.
1,037 up at the.
And meanwhile, front row, you're getting for under $500, right? It's like that opposite effect. But anyway, what you're looking at now is what you can look at for any of the arenas or stadiums that you bring up. Okay, most of them have a seat view function where you click the seat and the dollar amount that's available, and you could see the view from that seat to the field or the stage, whatever you're looking at. Guys, I've used it. I got Bruce tickets in Jersey morning of the show. I was 19 rows back from the stage. Unbelievable, guys. Download the GameTime app right now. Create an account. Use code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q. Get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create that account. Redeem code KLIQ for $20 off. Download GameTime now. Last minute tickets. Lowest price guaranteed. Thank you, GameTime, for rocking and rolling with Kliq This.
How is that going to work out for AEW? Now that they got Sting and Edge, is YouTube going to have some problems at the Sphere?
Right. Well, seeing Sting and the Edge together, of course, problem. Thank God Bono hasn't come over yet, but you never know. I mean, they're going to need to stack the card tomorrow night, so
yeah,
you may get that.
That's a great Game Time's one of my favorites. I just dig that.
I love it. I love the mechanics
and especially because I was going to ask. I didn't know that Steve was going to have the Sphere ready. I was going to say, pull up the Sphere.
Yep.
Because I was thinking, what? And it was weird because when you saw it on YouTube, not on YouTube, but Instagram, it's weird when you look from the stage back because everything's bordered on. It looks like almost a speedway grandstand, with the seating.
I see.
I mean,
right.
It looks like a section of Daytona because it's circular and it doesn't. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's got it looks like the stands with the arching kind of thing at the top. I came across a story that talked about how we've seized a ton of Iranian weapons, which is what we're now going to give to Ukraine. So apparently, I want to get the numbers right here. It's 3,000 assault rifles, 23 anti-tank guided missiles, 1.6 million rounds of ammunition. This was being shipped against international law, I think to Yemen, violation of the United Nations Security Council resolution. So we got them all. The Navy seized them, and we're sending them to the Ukraine. Now, here's the ultimate irony. Where did Iran get all their weapons from? Russia. So what's old is new again. So back in the recycling, the Russian weapons that were sent to Iran that we picked up on the sea are now going to be given to the Ukraine.
Yeah, but when you listen about the war that's going on over there, it's like World War I trench warfare. I mean, it's just
the type of battle. Yeah,
that's somebody when they on that thing on YouTube, somebody wrote, listen to Nash talk about the Ukraine war. It was just absolute cringe, and I'm thinking. And I'm thinking about that episode. I'm like, was it the fact that I said that the $25 billion was like 5% of our defense? Like, might as well spend it now, instead of putting, And I'm just thinking, who came up with the term cringe? Is it cringe for you because you don't fucking get it? Is it cringe because we disagree? What is the whole just cringe is like I'm too much of a bitch to put like my actual thoughts out there where you can fuck. So because, but you know.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said disagreement. It's somebody who doesn't agree with you, so therefore your take makes them cringe. It's a very millennial term, a very 20-something or 30-something term.
I guarantee if I kick your fucking door in and beat you and smack you around for about a half hour,
the cringe would disappear.
Well, you might cringe more.
Right. Or
I might find that
outright pain.
I might find your fucking yelping like a bitch cringy.
There's always been talk about the U.S. dollar, right, internationally, and the BRICS alliance, which BRIC, that's of course Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. There's always talk about breaking away from the reliance on the dollar, right? And so you came across something that you sent me today.
I thought that was interesting.
About the gold holdings nationally by governments, and when they talk about an alternate currency like the BRICS folk, they talk about putting it on the gold standard, okay, which we've been off of for years, but they're going to secure their money against gold, right? So there was one article I read today where they talked about, the amount that some of these countries are buying up in gold bars. And then you sent me the number that we're sitting on right now. And it is, what was it again? 48. And I found a value for it also too here. So the United States.
We've got like 8.4 fucking.
I'm going to find this. I got it right here. I got the exact number. So as we're supposed to be quivering in fear that the dollar is on its way out. So it is 8,133 metric tons are in the American gold reserve, which in present value amounts to $480 billion. Nobody comes close to that in the world. And this could never happen anyway, gold aside, because, all right, let's say there's this international currency that India and Russia and China, all these countries that are going to play well together, come up with. You have to have international governance over a currency. You have to have a World Bank. Who's running that? Putin?
No, they're going to use the semblance of the one that Gaddafi tried to put together when he was going to back the dinar with, and he ended up being sodomized to death in the back of a pickup truck.
Muammar Gaddafi.
So
yeah. So I don't think there's any chance of the delegitimization globally of the dollar.
Well, then they said they added on that thing that like. And then they added the rest of them, like Saudi, like there was like 11 others
that would buy into
this, and they still don't have anywhere near what we have.
No. Do you imagine all them? That would be like the Pro Wrestling USA experiment when all the other companies got together in '85 and tried to run against Vince. That lasted a few minutes, having all those promoters in the same room, trying to get along and not serve each other's individual needs. So I don't think that's going to happen. But you know what is going to happen for millions of American men? Not even American men. We're heard globally. Men all over the world. I think you can get it all over the world. I'm not sure, but you should be able to. And that's the BLUECHEW service that sponsor our stiff one every week. Guys, remember the days?
We may need to make a airdrop down to the villages now that they're bootleg boner man's gone.
That's it. There's going to be a market down there for sure. 1,800 of those pills gone. They just need to get on BlueChew.com. This is the unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. Take them anytime, day or night. Plan ahead. Be ready when the opportunity arises. The process is so simple, guys. This is amazing. Just sign up at BlueChew.com. Consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you get the prescription within days. It's shipped to you. It's discreet. No trips to the doctor's office or awkward conversations. No waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door in the discreet packaging I have mentioned. They're just here to help you have better sex, guys. So discover your options at BlueChew.com. Choose what kind of tablets you want, which ones are right for you. There's a little write-up about how each one works, the amount of time each one's active in your system, and we have a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew for free when you use our promo code NASH at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code NASH, N-A-S-H, to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Stiff One of the Week. I'm just such a Sheiky fan. I read that guy's comment this week, and there's always plenty of Sheiky stuff. Here's another promo for, I guess, an event in the 80s that was coming up around Thanksgiving time, the turkey tournament or some shit like that, and there's a live turkey for the promo, and you could either watch the turkey get manhandled, you could watch Sheik. I enjoy watching Mean Gene always during these things when he can't hold it together. So let's go. Let's watch Sheiky here in the turkey tournament gimmick.
Meeting Nikolai Volkov, the Russian. Come on. Oh, I beg your pardon?
Listen, Jim.
Yes, Iron Sheik, the great 1984 turkey tournament. You're going to be part of it.
You know, I really don't care about that stupid idiot turkey tournament. He remind me look like Hulk Hogan. Look at his son, look at him. Now, that redneck stay down. I'm not interested that idiot turkey tournament.
Potato the turkey.
Bobby with the best line, you potato to turkey. God, I would love to have been in the room for those fucking... I know they were all day long and they were horrendous to do. But just when they had those few minutes of levity when somebody would break up the room.
Dude, I saw one the other day. It was Gene was cussing at everybody. I just went off.
I love it. I love some Gene. Love some Sheik. All right, Florida man or Jersey guy, Kevin. This is the time when you get to flex your uncanny skills, might I say, at being able to identify which story might have taken place in New Jersey and which might have taken place in your state of Florida. Okay, here are the two headlines, both real headlines. First one, man crashes vehicle into police station while blasting Guns N' Roses. And the video of that, we have surveillance video of this, and it's absolutely unbelievable. It's the most metal moment in the world, but I can't show it yet because it would give away the state. And also the second headline: nearly naked man breaks into school, smears feces and cake frosting everywhere. So a man crashes vehicle into police station while blasting Guns N' Roses. Nearly naked man breaks into school, smears feces and cake frosting everywhere. Kevin thinking, getting the colostrum.
There's nothing in either of those that's a giveaway.
So you're going to go to your...
Hold on. So I'm going to go to the fact that you said that the first one, if we showed it, I'd know where it was. It must mean there's a palm tree in it. So I'm going to say that the crash with the car is Florida and the feces frosting was New Jersey.
No, it was opposite. But it would have just given it away because of the news coverage. But you have to see this video. Put this video up.
There was no way that this could happen anywhere.
This guy is, here it comes. Now him getting out of the car. It's unbelievable. It's the most metal thing. He is He has thrown his hands up triumphantly, but then kind of turned it into a submission. Putting his hands up. Yeah, you're just under arrest at that point. There's absolutely no reason to argue. Let me get his name. Let's give him some credit, proper credit. We don't want to drive through anything, let's just say. I don't mean credit in a positive way, but it was playing Welcome to the Jungle, by the way, if you were wondering. Liberty Township, New Jersey. John Hargreaves gets out of the car with his hands up. Maybe he was putting his hands. I thought it was like a metal kind of thing.
He faces the charge of terrorism, which is life in prison.
Yes, maximum sentence of life in prison by attacking an institution like a police station,
I think that
a government building.
I think what they ended up doing is they put him in a holding tank for 5 years, then made him go back and watch Guns N' Roses now.
Listen to Axl Rose now.
And he said, "Can you please just give me the death sentence?"
And a little Florida cake making went on in Seminole County when our friend Christian Dominic Shea jumped a fence at 2 a.m. into the Bear Lake Elementary School and thought that a little vanilla frosting and feces was what the building needed. And they're always naked. Like, I don't get that part of it either.
It's just a lot easier to grab your shit that way.
Right, to access it, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with the underwear and all that. I guess. You're so practical.
He
Kevin.
might have started with a diaper, got the accumulation, and then went in, found a good spot to kind of... I would imagine this guy almost mixing the feces with the frosting in the diaper, and then using the diaper kind of as a rag almost
to get like a swirl, like when you get the vanilla and chocolate swirl.
Almost get kind
cream.
of a. Might think that some very talented Latin American stucco crew might have gotten in there.
Right, a little
Throw
wall
them
art.
off.
This is making me hungry, Kevin. And with HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store, man. Count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. And God knows there's plenty of them. But you're dealing with the #1 meal kit in America when you deal with HelloFresh. You could also turn to HelloFresh Market for yummy add-ons. It's not just the meals. There's some limited time fall flavors. Feast on desserts like the apple cider cake, caramel sauce on there. Or please a crowd with appetizers like barbecue pulled pork nachos. Don't forget the mini pumpkin cheesecake. Perfect for a me time treat. HelloFresh does all the shopping and meal planning for you, okay? Ingredients arrive at your doorstep, pre-portioned, ready to cook, along with pictured step-by-step recipe cards. This is my favorite thing. It is absolute idiot-proof. I can cook anything on the HelloFresh slate because of the way this is portioned, laid out. You have the pictures. They even tell you while one thing's cooking, go prepare the other thing. They've got it all laid out. They've thought ahead. And so that someone like me, when I stand in the kitchen and do my HelloFresh, within a half hour, I have the meal banged out. It's unbelievable. Go to HelloFresh.com/50Kliq and use the code 50Kliq for 50% off, plus free shipping. Okay? You guys, it's America's #1 meal kit, and you're going to find out why. HelloFresh.com/50. Hashtag AskNash. That's how you can get Kevin to answer your question or come here, show up. As part of KliqThisTV.com, you get to be part of the monthly shows and ask people questions that are hanging out with Kev on Nash and Friends, like RJ City did this month, like Vince Russo has done before, like RVD did before that. And you get to be here at the live tapings and ask questions, too. On the Run Sleeping has asked, during your time as a bouncer, What was the worst fight or beating you've seen, handed out, or received?
Was working on a Saturday night, and I was working solo Saturday, and then was going to join the crew of 3 for Saturday night, because we worked 4 on Saturday night, and a bunch of Marines came in, and they started throwing quarters at the girls, and I had to, I was there by myself. And I had to take them out. I had to take them out, tell them to go outside. And it just so happened that one of the night guys was getting dressed, and he heard on the headset that they were getting rowdy. His name was Cam. He was about 6'6", about 330. He was a bounty hunter, and everyone we hit, we dropped. But man, I got a couple of shots. I took a shot in the ribs from somebody. I don't know if it was a leg, fit, whatever. But yeah, we came back in, and I mean, we had blood all over us, and that was back in the good old days when you could pound the fuck out of somebody and call the cops, and just hold them there, and then put them in a minute, just press charges.
Yeah.
But that was one of the worst.
Fernum Schneevitz.
Uh-oh.
Our friend.
Did
you guys meet up in Jersey?
My brother's neighbor.
Did you guys meet up in Jersey? If so, what did Sean eat? Right here. Right here. It's all coming off, brother. No, we didn't have time. Kevin had a flight delayed till 4 in the morning, and then he was out the door as soon as the Teamster shuffled his line through the...
I got home at 10:36 the next day, though.
Exactly. Jack Pinocchio. Pinocchio, I'm going to say. Jack Pinocchio. Sorry, Jack. Idea for Florida man or Jersey guy. You tell the true story of a Jersey person and the true story of a Florida person. Kevin has to guess if it's a man or a woman. He's getting too good at the game. Haha. That might be interesting. Would the activities be indicative of a gender? Nowadays, we'd have to say no, right? Because the gender might have been chosen right before the activity.
This one today it could have went either way.
Well, but as a lot of them can, you find these interesting threads that I don't think about sometimes.
It's just, I was thinking when you said that, when you said what you said, I wouldn't have known that was Jersey had I just watched the clip. I thought the clip was the giveaway, so I thought, well, there's got to be a palm tree in the clip.
See, I see the guy wildly smearing feces and cake batter and icing. I see that as a very Florida thing.
See, I see it as somebody that's started some kind of diet injection that's just fucking pissed off at food in general.
It's gonna be month 2.
I can't have frosting, but you can eat my shit in frosting.
What do we have in the audience here? I know somebody's got a question, damn it. Tyler Blair. Kev, any thoughts on HBK saying he'd welcome the chance to work with Punk in NXT?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
No thoughts.
God bless him.
Anyone else have a question? Sometimes no answer is the answer, as you know. Headingite, has Kev or Sean seen anything on the upcoming The Claw movie about the Von Erichs? MJF is in it, as is Zac Efron, and the guy from The Bear, Jeremy Allen White. I don't know anything about this. Interesting, though. I'll look into it. Hope it's being handled tastefully. Not a fun story, the Von Erich story. What else we got here? Anyone? Heading out again. Has Kev or Sean ever seen The Bear? It's a great show on Hulu about loss, addiction, and family. Now, this is the one with the guy from, oh, brother, the series I did like in Chicago. Why can't I think of anything? Is it just because I've been up for 17 hours, for Christ's sake? Shameless is what I'm trying to say. I do forget the actor's name, but I believe he plays the cook. It's about cooks in a Lip was the character's name, yeah, in Shameless. He's very good. I did watch the first episode. I guess it was all right. Yeah, I guess it didn't get me hooked though, right? Because if you watch one,
I don't have Hulu.
no. There's a scene where Al Snow is filmed greased, standing in green light with smoke emanating from behind him as he wields a large Thor-like hammer and begins to pound it. That was my favorite part of the training. He's banging a Thor hammer on a mat. I think that's in the second episode of The Bear. All right, let's see. Dan Updike, he's got some stuff to say. Has Kev ever been invited to the Syracuse Nationals Classic Car Show? We had Mick Foley this year, and I know PTA appearances represents both of them. I emailed Primetime about it, but I never heard back. We need Kev in the 315 in 2024.
I didn't hear about it.
Is that something you do? You're into cars.
I love cars.
Reach out again, Dan. I think this show will be enough exposure to get Primetime to make that booking happen. Linus Knight sent a picture. Where the F did the Nash interview, the one with his neon green gun shirt, disappear? Was it WCW history? I know he did guest booker too. This was, in fact, the guest booker edition that you did, where you had the lime green shirt. And if you go to Best of the KC Vault, our subscription channel on YouTube, and sign up, only $14.99 a month, you get access to the library, and you can watch Kevin's guns in the green shirt.
I wonder why I cut my hair so short. I had to have dyed my hair.
It's very short, right? It kind of looks like the left testicle of a horse, in a way. I
was thinking more of an Aryan look, but depends on what you. Where your mind goes,
where you're at. Yeah, so that was that was guest booker right there. Guest booker number 20 was Kevin Nash. Timeline WCW number 9 was Nash. Breaking Kayfabe number 9 was also Nash, and Timeline 11 was Nash. You Shoot 21 was Nash. So it's like looking at the garage days before we were on stage here at Madison Square Garden together, man. It's our garage days revisited.
Before we were at the Sphere.
How about someone closing us out from the house here? Let's get some.
Could you imagine if the Beatles would have played the Sphere?
Imagine if the Beatles played anywhere today. That would be.
Yeah, but just the Sphere, man. You could put the Let It Be.
Oh, just how much you could do with the
with the rooftop in the background as they actually covered the tunes. We'll put this together through.
We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, we're gonna make this with AI. We're doing this.
David Van Bogelen, I saw you there, pal. What do you got? 27 years later, we have an arrest in the Tupac murder. Have you guys been keeping tabs on this, and what are your thoughts so far? Yes, I did see
I haven't. There was something that was going to be on Lester Holt tonight at 6:30 that I saw it was the lead-in off our local news, and but I had to come down here, so
supposedly this guy has been on the radar. Gave a statement long ago that he was a witness. He was in the car.
Yeah, he was it's some good police work in Las Vegas.
I don't know. I can't understand how that goes on. Well, maybe there's more to the story. I don't want to. Maybe there's more to the story. We'll see. I do want to see about it, though. And I think it stemmed from a fight earlier, like with
It was
Tupac's
that
nephew,
beat down.
or-
That
yeah.
beat down in the middle of the, yeah.
Jesus. Really? Unbelievable. All right, anyone else in the house? We could wrap this up. What do we got? I want to Brandon Douglas. How do you think Brian Pillman Jr. will do in NXT under Sean's guidance and with the way WWE loves to use second-generation talent? Any great memories of his dad? You said you did ride with him.
Yeah.
With Brian, and I think he's got that. I think Sean would do well with him, right? With like body type and
If he can put CM Punk aside for a minute and give Brian Pillman Jr. a little of his time.
Touche. We'll see what happens. WWE XT, that's Brit. Wait, I have a question. Kev, have you ever tried shrooms? If so, what was your experience like? Why do you ask, Brit?
I have tried shrooms on occasion. More than, I'd probably say 25, 30 times.
This is all coming back now. The suburban housewives are microdosing the.
Well, they're saying that
psychedelics.
microdosing shrooms is one of the best ways to get people off alcohol abuse.
She says, because I'm high right now. Okay, that's why she's asking. Well, I'm glad you spent your night with us. Is that picture doing anything to you behind Kev? Reaching out, patting you on the head? Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Heat, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, and Sean Oliver. Produced by Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver. Technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2023, Butch and Sundance Media. Hey, Kev, want to take some shrooms and do another one?
Only if Christian will drop me on my fucking bean on some steel steps.
Let us free to fade away into eternity. Circulate, you've come to love me, but now I'm frozen in dead flesh. Oh, Sophie, knew all along it was a trick, but the customer service never answers the thing. Let us free to breathe in air we're supposed to breathe. Through twists and turns, you've come to love me. Now I'm cold, I'm frozen. Baby, we're broken, and the customer service never answers a thing. Yeah, the customer service never answers a thing.